Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you, my heart has been in my throat watching the latest events, especially when innocent children are caught right in the middle of a dangerous web. As a storyteller who feels every high and low of these characters' lives, I am just itching to unpack this terrifying situation surrounding Sweet Willow. It is one of those moments that makes you want to reach right through the television screen and pull those babies to safety. Let us start by talking about the absolute wickedness of Jacinda Bracken. Lord have mercy. It takes a truly dark soul to mess with a mother's morning routine, but that is exactly what Jacinda did when she tampered with Willow's iced coffee. To slip drugs into someone's drink is a cowardly and vile act, but doing it to a mother who is responsible for young children is just beyond the pale. I sit here watching this unfold, and it just makes my blood boil. Jacinda is playing a very dangerous game with lives that do not belong to her. She set a trap that was completely invisible to her victim. A simple, refreshing iced coffee, something so many of us rely on to get through a busy morning, was turned into a silent weapon. Now, bless her heart, Willow has absolutely no idea what is coursing through her veins. We all know Willow is a devoted, loving mother who would walk through fire for Wiley and Amelia. Her big plan was to take the kids out for a fun day, starting with milkshakes at Bobby's Diner before heading over to the arcade. It is such a pure, wholesome American family outing, the kind of day that builds beautiful childhood memories. Willow would never, not in a million years, get behind the wheel of a car if she knew she was impaired. She is far too responsible and loves those babies far too much to ever risk a hair on their little heads. She has no reason to suspect that her sudden fatigue is anything other than normal exhaustion. As the drugs begin to take hold, I can only imagine the terrifying confusion Willow must be experiencing. You can see the heavy toll it takes on her body, the way her vision might start to blur, and the way her limbs feel like they are made of lead. She probably just thinks she needs another cup of that poison coffee, completely unaware that it is the very thing dragging her down. It is a slow, creeping danger. When you are a busy mom, you are so used to pushing through the tiredness. I watch her trying to keep it together, trying to be strong for Wiley and Amelia, and my heart just aches for her. She is fighting a battle she does not even know she is in, and the stakes could not possibly be any higher. The sheer terror of the situation really hits home when you think about that car ride. The thought of Willow strapping those precious children into their car seats, getting behind the wheel, and pulling out onto the busy streets of Port Charles is enough to give anyone nightmares. A car is a heavy, dangerous machine, and driving under the influence of strong narcotics is a recipe for absolute disaster. It only takes a split second of lost focus to change a family's life forever. The children are sitting right there in the back seat, trusting their mother completely, happily chatting about the arcade and the milkshakes, totally oblivious to the shadow of tragedy hovering right over them. It is pure suspense. Thank heavens for the mysterious ways fate works, because right when the situation looks its absolute bleakest, in walks Brooklyn Quartermain. Now, we all know Brooklyn has always had a fiery spirit and a knack for finding herself right in the middle of the drama. But on this fateful day of August the 10th, she is exactly where she needs to be. Whether she is dropping by Nina Reeves' apartment or grabbing a bite at Bobby's, Brooklyn's timing is nothing short of divine intervention. It is funny how life does that, placing the most unexpected people in our path right when we need them the most. Brooklyn is about to become the guardian angel that Willow and those children so desperately need. What I have always admired about Brooklyn is her sharp intuition. She is not the kind of woman who misses the details. When she looks at Willow, she does not just see a tired mom. She sees the warning signs clear as day. I can picture Brooklyn standing there, her eyes narrowing as she takes in Willow's uncoordinated movements, the glassy look in her eyes, and the slight slur in her normally gentle voice. Brooklyn knows Willow well enough to know that this is not just a case of the Mondays. There is a profound wrongness in the air, a heavy, unsettling feeling that something is terribly off. The alarm bells start ringing loud and clear in Brooklyn's mind as she watches Willow struggle. You can almost see the gears turning in Brooklyn's head as the reality of the situation sets in. She realizes that Willow is about to drive. She sees the car keys in Willow's hand and looks over at sweet little Wiley and Amelia. In that singular moment, Brooklyn transforms from a casual visitor into a fierce protector. She knows she cannot just let them walk out that door. But Brooklyn is also smart enough to know that confronting a disoriented person might cause a panic, Instead of making a big scene or frightening the children, she decides to handle things with grace and cunning. I just love how she uses her quick wit to manage the situation, proving that sometimes the best way to save the day is with a calm demeanor. I can just imagine Brooklyn smoothly stepping into the fray, flashing a warm smile for the kids while she secretly orchestrates a rescue mission. She might strike up a lively conversation, asking the children about their favorite arcade games, all while subtly inching closer to Willow. And then, with the practiced ease of a woman who knows how to get things done, she makes her move. She finds a way to slide those car keys right off the counter or out of Willow's purse, hiding them away where they cannot cause any harm. By simply removing the ability to drive, Brooklyn instantly neutralizes the immediate threat, wrapping a blanket of safety around that little family without them even realizing it. Once the keys are secured and Willow is safely seated, Brooklyn wastes no time in calling for reinforcements. She steps aside, keeping a watchful eye on the group, and quietly dials Michael Corinthos. I can feel the urgency in that phone call. Brooklyn speaking softly into the receiver, telling Michael to drop whatever he is doing and get there right this instant because his wife is not right. It is a beautiful display of family solidarity. Despite whatever squabbles the Quartermains and Corinthos families might have, when push comes to shove, they circle the wagons. She is handing the baton over to the husband, ensuring that Willow gets the medical attention she needs immediately. Now, let me tell you, what makes this entire situation so incredibly rich and deeply emotional is the history between Brooklyn and Willow. If we look back down memory lane, there is a profound, almost poetic irony at play here. Longtime viewers will remember a much darker time in Brooklyn's life, a time when she made some truly terrible choices. We can never forget the tragic accident involving Jordan Ashford. Brooklyn was the one who accidentally caused that terrible crash, and then, in a moment of pure panic and cowardice, she fled the scene. But the worst part of it all was how she let the blame fall squarely onto innocent Willow's shoulders. She framed Willow for leaving the scene of the accident. Back in those days, watching that storyline unfold was so frustrating, seeing Willow suffer while Brooklyn hid in the shadows of her own guilt. It showed us a Brooklyn who was selfish, immature, and desperate to save her own skin, no matter who got hurt in the process. That history hangs heavily over these two women, a ghost of past wrongs that has never entirely faded away. But oh, how the tables have turned, and how beautifully time can heal and change a person. Seeing Brooklyn step up now to save Willow from a catastrophic car crash is the ultimate redemption story. She is no longer that frightened, selfish girl running away from a wreck. She is a strong woman running toward the danger to prevent one. By saving Willow, Wiley, and Amelia today, Brooklyn is balancing the scales of justice in her own heart. She is paying back a debt she has owed Willow for years. It is a powerful reminder that our past mistakes do not have to define our future, and that everyone is capable of profound change and grace. And let us not forget about the storm that is brewing for Jacinda Bracken. Once Michael arrives and they get Willow to the hospital, the truth about those drugs in her system is going to come out. The doctors will find it, and the pieces of the puzzle will start falling into place. When the families realize that Jacinda deliberately poisoned Willow, heaven help her. There is no fury quite like a family protecting its own. Jacinda thought she was being so clever, so stealthy, but she underestimated the power of a community that looks out for one another. Brooklyn's intervention not only saved lives, but it also set the stage for Jacinda's ultimate downfall, and I, for one, cannot wait to see justice served. As I sit back and reflect on this incredible turn of events, I am just overwhelmed with a sense of relief and gratitude. Life is so fragile, and danger can lurk in the most ordinary moments. But it is the strength of the women in Port Charles, their intuition, and their capacity for redemption that truly makes this show a masterpiece. We can all sleep a little easier tonight knowing that sweet Willow and her beautiful children are safe.